Thank you very much. Please be seated. Our dear guests, allow me once again welcome you to this occasion. Mr. Chief Guest, you're most welcome to this occasion. A representation of the Honorable Minister for State for Youth and Children, who is the Commissioner for Equity and Rights, Mr. Bernard Mujuni, you're most welcome. We're very humbled to have you in our presence, especially at the climax of this function. This is an attestation of the work of ILO, particularly the Y2Y fund, a process that has been ongoing for a period of 5 months. This is the final day upon which the final grantees are going to be announced, having gone through a very, very long process, tedious and hectic, but in light of empowering young women and children. We would like to thank you for having time to come here, and we take serious what we are going to share and also expect so much from you. We thank you very much once again. The team seated ahead of you comprises a number of participants and finalists who applied following the regulations and instructions of ILO and have been taken through a series of trainings in the benefit of drafting proposals, budgets, and quite a number of other things. We've been a part of this process because ultimately we are the grantees, without which ILO would be said not to be doing work. So we would like to say thank you to ILO.
The process is long, as the representative was saying. We started in February and we are awarding in July. And it's long because we don't want young people to get the money and they fail to implement what they have planned. So a lot of capacity building, a lot of finalizing their proposals, so that we can, by time of awarding, you are 50% sure that they'll be able to achieve what they have planned to implement. This component, like all the other components, has been existing since the start of our project. And as we speak, we had the EF1, which was supported by the government of Denmark, officially ended in June this year. But now we have the EF2, which is supported by the European Union. The components are the same, and the target group is the same, only that this time we are focusing in 11 districts. So specifically for the youth-to-youth fund, there is the proposal, there is the launch, they submit their short proposals. Then there is a selection exercise, which is done by independent judges. Then there is verification site visits to verify whether the organizations that have submitted are really in existence. Then we have the first capacity building, which we do regionally, depending on where the organizations are coming from. Then those organizations are supposed to submit their full proposals. After that, they are called for the final capacity building, which is project management, budgeting, communication, and any other issue that is reporting, how to do monitoring. So as we speak, we've completed all those steps, and we are happy to report that all the 33 organizations have gone through all those steps, and they are eligible for the award. Over the years, we've supported a number of youth organizations through the same intervention. EF1, we reached over 60 organizations by signing fresh grants, but we also did upscaling for 10 organizations. So the stage we are at right now is the grant award, then implementation will start. If the project is successful, it will be promoted and either upscaled or replicated elsewhere. So our chief guest, I have the pleasure of announcing that all these people here, all the organizations represented, deserve an award in cash. But it is the decision of the judges to select and announce the winners. But as we've been telling all of you, you are all winners. Whether you go with the award in cash, you are going with an award in skills, which you already have. So we are encouraging all of you, when it comes to implementation, it's tougher than the 5 months you've been going through. A lot of reporting, a lot of implementing to the satisfaction of your beneficiaries. And for this particular call, our target is young women and all youth with disabilities. So I want to assure the members here that among the beneficiaries that these people are going to target, they will either be young women. If they are men, then they are young men with disabilities. We don't expect an able-bodied young man to benefit from this particular call. We had this theme specifically because as ILO, we need to have equal opportunity for both sexes, but we also need to have affirmative action for young people with disabilities. We are going to have a special call for some specific districts which have not been participating as we had expected. And I think at the opportune time, the National Advisory Committee chairman will have to announce, because we'd like also to launch that call right today. And the districts are Arua, Nebi, Zombo, Gulu, Kitigum, Oyam, and Lira. So the next call is targeting those 7 districts. And we shall have the theme. We are yet to decide on the theme, but the young organizations that are out there in those 7 districts can apply. We are going to put it in media. We shall use television. We shall use radio, so that these organizations with those from those districts can participate fully. As I finalize, I want to thank all the ILO staff. Some of you have seen only 2 people from ILO, but ILO has a group of people who are always in the kitchen and they do not serve the menus. I also want to thank all the assessors, independent judges who participated in this exercise. I've seen one of the assessors, and I think Mr. Joseph Bazivu. I've not seen any other assessor, and some of you were visited by him. So your being here was also part of his intervention. These are people who are doing work on a voluntary basis. We don't pay them any fee, but because they love the youth, they love entrepreneurship, they come in and support us. With those remarks, I want to end here, but wishing all of you the best. And I can assure you, it's not about the amount of money you are getting, it's not about the grant you are getting, it's about your attitude, as Sharif has said. Thank you so much. Mr. Mondo, I've been asked to invite you. I know it should not have been me, but I also have to take this opportunity to invite a big person.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prince Mawanda. You can take your seat. It's okay. Thank you so much. Our chief guest, the Honorable Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, represented by Commissioner Bernard Mujuni, Commissioner Equity and Rights, Mr. Bob Mawanda, the head of this facility, and your staff. I saw Fred, my colleagues from Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, the management of Advance. We thank you. We thank you for deciding to work with us, for partnering with us. The young people, we thank you for having shown interest in contributing in your own cause, the cause of managing to tame poverty and unemployment. Honorable Minister, you well know that the Ministry of Gender, we believe that anything that we can do to reduce the profile of poverty and unemployment in this country, we shall do it. And we shall work with anybody. We believe in the triple P principle, the private-public partnership, as one of the ways to go if we have to manage this monstrous animal called poverty, unemployment, redundance, and all the vices that they come with. I therefore would like to take this singular opportunity to congratulate you, the young people. I congratulate you. The stakes were high, but so were you, or some of you, in terms of what you put before us. And now, if a few of you are not awarded, don't meet me somewhere and you say, it is that Chiman who was chairing. The Chiman didn't give us money. Let me just open up the lead a little bit. It's only 3 groups, no 4, that didn't manage to reach the level of receiving the money. Because despite the efforts put in by my colleagues in terms of training you and enabling you to position yourself to access the money, some of you just said we don't want the money. Not that you said it frankly, but because of what you exhibited before the panel. But these are just 4. And there is hope, because Bob has told you that we are launching the call for proposals today. And the minister will do the launch of the call for proposals today in the northern part of the country. In Igulu, Kitugum, Lira, Oyam, Arua, Nebi, Zombo. So in case you are one of the 4 that may not get the resources, then strategize, especially if you belong to the northern part of Uganda. Honorable Minister, I chaired a team of competent and experienced judges who were extremely rational, but also extremely loving the young people. They wanted all the groups to get the money. But a few groups, like 4, forced us not to give them the money. But as Bob said, they will get the certificates. And this is not the end of our program. We continue. In our recommendations, when we were awarding marks, we made comments why this could not warrant us to give the money. So we had wanted everybody to receive the money, but there were some problems. So out of the 33 groups, 29 are going to receive the money in the range of 32 million, and the lowest to receive 22 million. So 32 to 22 this is some good money for you to do what you ask the money for. Kindly use the money for the reason it is being granted to you. And the reason it's being granted to you is to improve on the welfare of the target groups, to create employment for the young women and some young men with disabilities in your target groups. The process was long, as Bob pointed out, but for a reason. We want to ensure that whatever we do is meticulously done and that there is no loophole whatsoever. Hence, the length of the process. But you persevered. And my president told me that one of the things that made them succeed is because of persistence. He said, and I quote, "Persistence breaks resistance." Many of you who are gentlemen here, who have been in the habit of chasing after somebody you have fallen in love with, she does not just accept the first time you advance. Isn't that true, ladies? Do you accept the first time I advance? Yes. You play some delaying tactics, even when you accept, you to test whether I'm really serious. So the same way, in our struggle, we try to see, are these young people serious? Can they be persistent? Can they be resilient? Can they show cause? Before I end my remarks, I never end them without requesting you that whatever you do, kindly integrate sexual reproductive health component in your programming interventions. It's only when we start limiting the number of human beings we manufacture that we'll be able to deal